All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the third LEOG, League of Extremely Ordinary Gentlemen.
The third and final.
Third and final?
No, I'm kidding.
It's like, oh, didn't we tell you?
This is a mini-series.
Yeah, and tonight, Leon has brought a guest with him that he works with in that other world outside of Spill.
That's true. The lovely Alison, who is not only a hardcore geek girl, but she's actually got a sense of humor, which is pretty rare for a woman, you got to admit.
Yeah.
That's okay. I was just going to add that I am neither ordinary or a gentleman, so...
Well, you know, it's a loose term.
Loose term.
Yeah.
Okay, loose
Yeah,
term.
nobody else would call us gentlemen either.
We're so pleased in general just to have a woman in my house at all that I don't even know what to do.
We're gentlemen in the way a gentleman's club is a gentleman's club.
Very true, very true. Except for no strippers.
Gentleman is in quotations.
Right.
Let's go with 5 questions.
Oh, you want to start off with the 5 questions?
Sure, that's what we usually do, so we can
All
get
right.
to know Alison.
Okay.
Yes.
Sure.
Okay.
Let me ask Alison a question. Alison is a big fan of action movies. So, name your 3 top action heroes.
Terminator, Linda Hamilton.
Okay. Wait,
Because-
are you naming Linda Hamilton? Are you naming Sarah Connor or the Terminator himself?
I'm going to say Sarah Connor. She's
Okay,
totally an action heroine.
All right, and has her own series.
Yes. And, you know, she does pull-ups for
True.
recreation, and I admire that in a woman because I couldn't do a pull-up.
Yeah.
Singular.
I know what you mean. I see people doing push-ups one-armed, and
I'm
I'm
so
just like,
jealous.
I can't picture doing a push-up both arms
Period.
with the
Yeah.
knees on the ground.
I see you doing pull-ups all the time. You just usually have a cupcake in your hand.
I can do it as long as I got sugar. I think you're talking about fruit roll-ups is what you're thinking of, not pull-ups.
I really enjoyed the Transporter movies.
Really? With Jason Statham, however you say it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is kind of the new Bruce Willis in some ways.
Yes.
Is he really?
Sure, he's got that whole, like, Joe Average thing going for him. And I think it has a lot to do with the receding hairline.
Yeah, bald.
Well, that's true. That's true. He's bald and he's kind of short.
Yeah.
Yet he's doing all the cool stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he's
Oh,
not...
yeah, but I'm going, not really. Yeah, I totally see what you're saying. You're right.
Yeah.
Right. That's because that's how Bruce Willis got in, as being like he was average Joe.
Yeah, he was Joe Everyman. He's not totally built and, but he's in good shape.
See, that's what always cracked me up about Bruce Willis. Like him doing Die Hard, it was almost kind of a goof because up to that point, he was the
Yeah.
goofy guy on Moonlighting.
It totally.
So the idea of making this goofy guy, an action star for one movie was like, wow, that's so cool.
And then he kicked everybody's ass.
And then he became action.
But then somehow
Yeah.
he became action star for real. It's like, no, that's not how this is supposed to work. It's like when Eddie Murphy started making real albums. It's like, hey, when Eddie Murphy sang on Delirious, she's like, wow, that guy's got a good voice. Hey, man, you ought to put out a real record. But then once he did it, you're like,
Not really.
oh no, I was just drunk at that
Not
party. I didn't
really.
mean it.
Yeah.
Don't do that ever again. What's the matter with you?
Yeah, that would be bad.
So, yeah, the cleats and the oil scene.
No, that was awesome, yeah.
Awesome.
So now,
Awesome.
are you choosing Transporter over Crank, or is Crank going to be the third?
Ooh, no.
Are
I'm
you
going to
just-
loop that in together with the Transporter, just make that like a general
So in your mind, Crank is like the third Transporter movie.
alternate universe
Okay.
Transporter movie.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I admit, I didn't even see the second Transporter because everyone I know who loved the first one, because I did. I was like, this is dumb, fun action movie greatness. But all those same people who said the same thing as me came from Transporter 2 saying, yeah, really, not so much. So I just never got around to watching it. But Crank, on the other hand, which I didn't even realize had come out in the theater. It came and went so fast.
Yeah.
Carlisle had it on DVD. And I was like, what's this? I don't know. I was like, oh, dude, you have
Yeah.
to watch it. So, I
Yeah,
did
but when
the-
he says that should be like one of those things where you go like, yeah, that means I have to not watch it.
But I had nothing better to do. I had like a fifth of whiskey and a brand new set of earphones and nothing to do with my night. So I strapped on the whiskey and drank the headphones and watched the movie. And it was amazing. I've watched it 3 times since then.
Wow.
I
It's
really
hilarious.
love that
I've
movie.
got to see this.
Yeah,
It's
it's just so
hilarious.
dumb. It somehow transcends badness and turns into good again.
Is there another movie you could compare it to?
Evil Dead 2, maybe.
Okay,
Just
fair
a
enough.
little bit.
Okay.
I can see that because of the humor and the...
The way it's so exaggerated and just, fuck reality. This
Yeah.
is just for fun. And
Yeah.
we know it going into it.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, there's literally a scene where he goes into a bar and you hear chaos erupting and the bar itself expands out like a Bugs Bunny cartoon or
Yeah.
something.
What?
Some,
Okay.
Some erection jokes. It's nice.
Well, now that you make that comparison to Bugs Bunny, how does it compare to Shoot 'em Up?
It's a lot funnier than Shoot 'em Up was. Shoot 'em
Oh,
Up
really?
It's almost like Shoot 'em Up tried. I did like Shoot 'em Up, but it knew what it was doing too much. It was too self-conscious about its silliness.
Okay.
At points, and this is just like fuck it. We don't care. We're just doing this for fun. You know. I mean, we're not expecting anybody to take this seriously. We're not expecting to make $1 billion. We just all want to have a good time making a fun action movie. And wow, that worked. What a shocker.
All right, right on. Okay, Alison, number 3.
Well, I'm going to have to plead genre on this and say the Layer Cake, Lock, Shock, and Smoke and Barrels movies, but just because of the British factor.
So you're just all about
sexy-
Jason Statham here, pretty much.
Yeah, kind of.
So you don't have any.
Jason-
There's not aliens. There's no.
Oh, okay, but I was kind of thinking sci-fi horror for that one.
I think of that one as what it is,
Okay.
but it's also action.
Okay, well, hell yeah, then Sigourney Weaver, another chick with a gun, killing some
Lots of
shit.
stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's pretty rad.
Okay.
Pretty rad.
Going around killing big bugs.
Stuff and aliens.
Having alien babies and
Yeah, wait, not till later. That was
Yeah.
the bad.
that
aliens.
wasn't her. That thing in there. That's not the goose.
It never happened. Sorry. La 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 la.
I didn't see it.
You are a Dungeons and Dragons fan. A girl who's a D&D fan, which
Yes.
is right there like a paradox. The universe should all
Exactly.
cease to exist
Yes.
or something.
You're a duck-billed platypus.
Yes, at one point I almost purchased a bumper sticker. I'm generally not a fan of the bumper sticker on your car. I think it, depletes you as a human being.
Yeah, it does.
But
It depletes us all.
Yes.
I considered only 2 in my lifetime, and one of them was, if you're so goth, where were you when we stacked Byzantium? That's hilarious. The second one was, yes, I game, no, I will not marry you. Because
Well, that gets
also-
rid of my third question. But my actual question was, so you've been playing for a long time, right? I mean, I assume since you were younger. Most people get into it when they're a teenager, at least.
It's like smoking, because once you're an adult, you're too smart to get into it.
It's true.
Martin, always bringing me down with the game and stuff.
I know, but you can get on me about stuff.
Okay, right on. It's fair.
right.
I actually didn't play until I was about 19.
Oh, okay. Wow, that's really strange. You must have been dating some.
I was
guy
dating
who-
someone.
Okay,
Yes.
okay, there we go.
And he was like,
You made Leon spit out whiskey.
It must have been a special guy, being a D&D player and all.
special. Yes. Maybe not in the positive sense.
So not only did he play D&D, he was retarded.
He's kind of retarded. Yeah.
Man, I have totally got a shot with
Those
this.
two things are mutually exclusive.
Yeah, but he was hot.
Yeah, he was kind of dreamy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's tall and had an overhanging forehead. Yeah, it was shade in the
Nice
summer.
knuckles.
I'm sure he was the alpha male of the D&D set.
Sure, he's always
Yeah.
playing the barbarians. Yeah. So my question to you really
skinny.
was: so like all this time you've played, what's the funniest thing that happened during a game?
Well, I don't really play seriously as, Shannara, the Night Mistress of Wolfenstein or anything like that.
But that really was your character, right?
Yeah.
Is that Ilsa She-Wolf of the SS? Is that like that?
No, really, take us through it. What was one of your characters? I'm not going to make fun of you. I want to hear it.
Right.
No, I promise.
I totally believe you.
I promise. Totally, I promise.
Plus, I'll tell you a big embarrassing secret about him.
Okay,
And he's got a
fair.
lot of 'em.
That's fair. That's fair. One of the people we work with, LARPs,
What is a LARP?
live action role playing.
Oh,
you not
yeah.
only role play, but you role play with swords, and you.
So tell me this: if you LARP
Yes.
and you play a werewolf,
Yes.
does that make you a furry?
Ooh, good question.
Possibly.
Which reminds me of the embarrassing story about Leon, but anyway, go on.
Yeah, I just need to know the next time I'm with my group.
No, wait, that was an episode of CSI. Never mind. Sorry.
Another one of your passions, I just found out recently. I mean, you mentioned it before, but I just recently found out how much of a passion it is.
Okay.
Is Magic the Gathering.
Oh no.
Now, what separates Magic the Gathering from, say, Yu-Gi-Oh?
Oh, okay. Well, Magic the Gathering was around longer. Maybe it's like an old school, new school thing, like Adidas Shell Toes versus Adidas with the colorful shell toes. I don't really know. But
And how'd you get into it?
Yes.
Okay, I guess from D&D, is it a natural extension? Oh, it was a boyfriend again.
Yeah, it was a boyfriend.
Jeez. All right, so basically, I'm going to put this out there that Alison is single at the moment, and she's really cute.
Not for long.
I know.
No, not the cute part, the single part. Yeah, I got this whole bottle of hydrochloric acid.
So all of you D&D, Magic the Gathering, geek nerds, fans out there.
Whoa.
I'm a black-red deck man myself.
White and green.
Really? White and green?
Yeah.
Pussy.
I overwhelm you with my squirrels.
Yeah,
and then
that's such a chick deck, I swear to
is.
God.
It's kind of a chick deck. Angels and squirrels.
I mean, I have a blue and red, but you got to have either red or black in your
order
mix.
to be cool.
In order to be cool.
Well, you can listen to Slayer while you play your white and green deck, and it cancels it
It
out.
balances it out.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I didn't know that. That's interesting.
It's
I'll have to
fact. It's a
try that
fact.
again with my what's that Sarah Angel with my Sarah
There you go,
Angel.
Sarah Angel.
Yes, I have played Magic the Gathering.
No. I warned you that there would come a time within this recording when the two of you would lose me and your geekdom, and it's happening already.
The time is now.
And I'm okay with it.
Well, as it happens, I have a whole set of Magic cards here. No, just kidding. I'm not going to pull them out.
I do.
Yes, you
and
do.
I'm not
We're gonna.
kidding.
She's got it in her purse.
I do.
They're set up in like a 6-gun setup where she can like spin them into her hands.
You guys like draw a pentagram on the ground before you play these?
Yes,
or-
like candles.
Well, it's not a pentagram. You just got to draw a circle with virgin blood.
Oh, okay.
Which in my group isn't hard to find.
Yeah, I would think a game like that would make all the players nervous.
Yeah, it didn't say woman virgin. It just said virgin. Like, well, that's no problem.
Dude, that's not cool. You know I have a girlfriend in Canada.
That's
You just never met her.
That's funny. Ritual seems to work. My fourth question. We went to go see Speed Racer all together last night.
That's right.
And we brought Alison along because we're like, we're recording today, so let's give us a chance for Chris to have a fourth question,
Yes.
which is, what did you think of Speed Racer?
Well, I will never have to do acid again in my life.
Again?
I will never have to do acid in my life. Just pop on Speed Racer and
Yeah. If you have some LSD or mushrooms tucked away, you can get rid of those. Go ahead and sell them.
yeah,
Yeah.
Because all you got to do is watch Speed Racer, and
Yeah.
it's pretty much the same effect.
it was insanity. It was I could just see the epilepsy happening in the crowd.
Yeah, there's no question that epileptics should not see
No.
Speed Racer
No.
at any point, or anyone who's easily confused.
Yes, or anyone who doesn't enjoy the Lifetime movie, because it seems to me like there was a couple of Lifetime movies like wedged into the.
Yeah. No, I
Yeah.
know what you're saying. It's like the thing is, it would be like "Blah, crazy, 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 and then for 10 minutes, it's totally normal Lifetime
It's
movie.
all violins and hugging.
Family
and,
hugging. Everybody hugged everybody.
Yes.
and everybody explained everything to the most minute detail.
Yes.
Oh my God.
It's like, give us some credit, please, for Christ's sakes.
Yeah.
It's like I wanted to take the Wachowskis aside beforehand and go, look, this is Speed Racer.
Exactly.
Speed Racer.
Nobody gives a shit about the backstory.
No.
It's all about the race scenes. It should be a short, quick, fun,
Fast.
flashy, innovative film. We do not need depth.
Right.
Grunting.
I mean,
A lot of grunting.
I cannot forgive them for making it 2+ hours. Yeah, it's a dumb it's a cartoon I love, but it's a dumb cartoon that moves really fast, and it's all about a kid who's obsessed with winning. Mm-hmm. That's it.
Yeah. No, how much depth do you need? We know Racer X is...
And the thing is, they didn't get that. Nobody talked fast, and Speed wasn't really obsessed with winning. He wanted to win, but he wasn't obsessed.
No.
And that's what I loved about Speed Racer,
Yeah.
the cartoon.
He was crazy. But I gotta win.
Yeah.
Trixie, and then.
Oh, he would dog
Speed.
Trixie all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole thing about that is like, okay, so they met when they were kids, right? And it flashes to years later. They're both adults. They're in their 20s or whatever. And she lives in the house.
Right.
But not in the bedroom with Speed, right? They're not sharing a bedroom or anything.
Well, I can say the cartoon was always kind of ambiguous about that, too.
So what's the deal? Did her parents die or something?
That was, that's one of those things that never was explained. She was always there. But the thing was, Sparky was always there. Sparky the mechanic, who is Speed's best friend. Yeah. And Sparky is her brother. So
Sparky's her brother.
Yeah.
See, they didn't say that in the movie.
Well, no, because they had Sparky as some middle-aged Australian guy, which didn't make any goddamn sense. What the fuck is this?
You gotta have an Australian guy.
Yeah, sure. If you're the Wachowskis and you're shooting over there, you got to hire some of the locals. I understand.
Well, it's just like there's that moment about 5 minutes in the middle of the movie where suddenly it's like, oh, it's the Matrix. Remember the Matrix?
Oh yeah,
we did that. And even the music sounds like the music from the Matrix.
And what's with all the weird foreigners in the movie everywhere? I mean, only people who really watch the show, like Alison admits she watched. She knows what I'm talking about. Yeah. Like Inspector Detector had this weird accent from What the Fuckistan. I don't know what was going on with that.
The other planet behind the sun that rotates in our orbit. He's from there.
That's Earth 2.
Earth 2. Yeah. Planet X.
Yeah. But I can't say enough about Matthew Fox, who seems to be like the only guy who actually watched the cartoon. Like I could just see him coming in on Monday ready to shoot, going like, "You guys, I watched the whole box set and I'm ready. I got my Racer X character down." And everybody looked at him like, "Wait, this is based on a show?"
Didn't they say not to watch the show first? Oh shit!
I've never watched it before, but I did get extra boob job for the show. So
okay, for those who aren't here, I'd like to point out that Alison is now grabbing her breasts, and I just went through puberty for the second time.
Yeah, but you had to admit that one of the other co-stars of the movie were Susan Sarandon's boobies.
Oh yeah, they were
featured as much or not more than Susan Sarandon.
which is funny because there was a lot of beautiful women in the movie, including Christina Ricci, who herself is known for having a large set of breasts. But man, the Wachowskis are all about the cougar titties. Dude. I swear.
Well, they're at that age. You know, I'm sure like me, they saw what was that movie she made with Raul Julia? Tempest. On HBO multiple times.
Is that a big sex movie with
She's
her?
So unbelievably sexy in that movie. Oh. And then on the Greek Isle, she's frolicking around with John Cassavetes in little white T-shirts that are getting wet all the time. Yeah.
Okay, but you know what it is now, right? What's going on now? It's question 5.
Oh, question 5.
Yeah.
I'm trying to. I have an observation.
Okay.
And I'm trying to phrase it in a question. Doom, 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 doom,
oh no.
Doom, doom.
The audience is biting its fingernails.
Something that I know the two of you have in common, or certainly a shared interest that you don't know about.
Yeah.
Oh.
Tell us about your artistry in makeup.
I tried as much as possible to do makeup effects that you could recreate with supermarket stuff or craft store stuff.
Yeah, using supermarket things. I'll point you to her MySpace page later, Cyrus. But there's pictures of her using gelatin, store-bought stuff, where she's dressed as Abraham Lincoln and Nosferatu with makeup she did herself, and you'd never know it was her.
It's all about the gelatin, isn't it?
Yeah, it's so rad.
Yeah, no, I was
making the molds. And
I was a big fan of the special effects makeup, but I rarely went so far as to do molds and stuff for things.
My question, my actual question.
Okay.
Yes. So, with us all knowing this, what movie do you think has the best makeup job?
Ooh.
Oh, that's so hard.
Or not even the best, but your favorite.
The makeup / special effects for American Werewolf in London were insane for the time.
Sure.
Yeah.
And totally awesome. Did you not think he was turning into a werewolf on the floor with the sweating and the eyeballs and the jaw coming out?
Well, it's just so funny that movie was, 25, 30 years ago?
Yeah, they're not doing much better.
But Rick Baker is still the leading makeup guy.
Yeah.
Practical effects are still better looking than CG.
So much better.
If you have the right practical effects guy. And Rick Baker is one of the masters of the genre. Rick Baker, Tom Savini,
Rob Bottin.
Yeah, I mean, these guys can make something look much more realistic than anything you can do with CG.
How much better would I Am Legend have been if they used makeup instead of CGI?
Tell me.
That was the biggest problem with that film.
I totally agree.
I would have really liked that film. I would have given it an absolute full price if they had just used practical effects and real actors for the zombies.
Because the first time you saw them all in a circle, breathing hard. But
Yeah, it was
you
real
were,
people. Yeah.
insanely afraid.
Yes.
And then they turned around with the jaw out of proportion.
Yeah,
And you're like,
which you can use CG to alter real stuff.
Sure.
So why
Help it
didn't they
out.
just do that?
I
It
have
seems
no
to me
idea.
that would have been the more inexpensive way to
Somebody talked them into like, oh, this will be quick. This will look good. This is what everybody's using these days. It'll be cheaper. Trust me.
do it. It looked horrible.
It ended with somebody saying, trust me.
Yeah.
Not scary.
No.
Not scary at all.
all.
It's scary if you were playing the game at home on your PlayStation.
Exactly.
Yes.
Like the way Resident Evil
Evil,
is.
yeah.
Well,
But as a movie, not scary.
Not so scary.
Does it bug you guys that like almost every movie we see these days, like even the good ones, they're just a few pixels away from being video games?
Yeah, it's especially Speed Racer.
Yeah. I was sitting there in the movie going, hey, push A now. Drop the car.
Right.
I had both hands on the controller.
I know.
Like, hey.
Like he asked the usher on the way out, hey, is this game coming to Rumble Pack?
Because, I'm excited.
Now you've heard there's a real Iron Man suits on the way.
Oh, God.
There's several companies competing to get military contracts for building Iron Man suits. Not just like looking just like the movie.
Sure,
the
but
idea
that
is
type of thing.
Completely self-contained exoskeletons that fly with jetpacks and all that stuff.
Of all the impressive things in that movie, one of the many things that impressed me so much was how they went far past and above and beyond the Call of Duty to make it look realistic.
Yeah.
I mean, he's in that suit and you go like, wait, that looks
Yeah.
like that could actually work.
Yeah, but my question is, when are the real Robert Downey Jr.'s on the way? Because that's what I would be
Well,
interested
there's
in.
plenty of them out there. You just need to go to an AA.
I was going to say, you've obviously
ultimate
never
addiction.
gone out drinking with me. You would know that there's one sitting in the room with you right now. I have problems that would require years of therapy.
Yeah, but then you've got to go to rehab for a while and train up a bit.
Oh wait, is that the hot part?
Oh, is that what you got to do?
Apparently,
you didn't
that's
mention
what you
that.
do.
So he wasn't hot when he was a drunk, is what you're
Well,
saying.
he was, he looks a little sick.
But you love that he was wounded. He was an artist. He had a deep soul and pathos. Everything you fall for.
No, not anymore.
Yeah,
I'm in
all he
rehab
needed to
now.
do was pull out a 20-sided die, and you'd have been all over him.
I'm in rehab now. You said
Rolling,
no more
rolling.
musicians.
If he referenced his Vorpal sword or rolling a saving throw.
Dire stink beetle or area effect.
Dire stink beetle.
Yeah,
Is that a D&D thing?
I'm telling you, dude, she'll go deep.
kind
Wow. I didn't know about I knew about dire wolves, but dire stink beetles,
Well-
I bet you dire wolves are kind of pissed about that, actually. They're like, dude, we're the dire wolves, yeah.
beetles.
Hey guys, we're the dire stink beetles. We should totally hang out.
We're LARPing on Tuesday at the Rec Center. Come on down.
God damn it. I told you we should have copyrighted that dire thing. Shut up.
Time to play Ditch the Dorks.
Come on, we're having T-shirts made.
The Dyers, live at the
Dyers.
community center.
Got anything else on the agenda?
Yeah, I do.
I'm sure we have plenty.
Yes. First off, we are not talking about Spider-Man. That's it.
No, do people want us to talk about Spider-Man even more?
No,
Aren't
they
they
keep
sick of
asking.
it?
They keep asking us to stop.
Oh, good.
Oh.
Oh, I'm done.
They're like every once in a while.
No. I said last time I was done.
We talked about Spider-Man at
Okay.
least a half hour for the last two.
Jeez.
Wow.
Okay. I got
Wow.
nothing else to say about it.
Yeah, I mean I do, but I'll save it.
I would ask you to fill me in, but you'll get in trouble.
I'll fill you in. God, I feel like.
All right, that's
Corey.
about enough of that.
I
Yeah, I
know.
know.
This is terrible. I'm
Yeah, it's
sorry.
like
I apologize.
nature abhors a vacuum, and when Corey's not
Ordinary
here, you feel like you have to fill
Aw.
that spot.
That's insulting
jokes.
to me and to you, and I apologize.
And to
It's kind of insulting to me too.
Oh.
I brought her here. I feel a little bit protective.
I'm
man.
sorry. You want me to hit on you too?
Yeah,
Well, yeah. In lieu of anything else, sure.
taste the rainbow.
I don't know how to pronounce this. Jarla Brelk, one of our members, asked us to talk about that adaptation of Akira, but into a live action film. But I don't know if either one of you has seen Akira or
Oh,
if
of
you've
course.
heard anything about this.
Yes.
No, okay, Akira
Who
is.
hasn't seen Akira, Canada, Akira, Canada, Akira?
Even if you hate anime, or you think you hate anime, Akira is that one that you should see anyway. It's good enough that you're like, okay.
Tetsuo, that's what he was saying.
Tetsuo. Yeah.
Tetsuo! Kaneda! Tetsuo!
And it really is that good. And it's funny, like, after all these years, even though it's been copied a billion times by a billion different things, both American and Japanese, it still artistically holds up. And hell, it's got one of the best scores, like orchestral
Oh,
scores
it's
of any
beautiful
movie
in
ever.
every way, but I'll give 50 points to the first person who can explain the ending.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
You realize, of course, that that's not really the ending.
Right,
either.
right. Now, I've read the graphic novels.
Yeah,
That's true. That's
the
not...
graphic novels go on, and the thing is, I think the way they chose to end it the way they did because it has that sort of feeling of like, oh my God, what could possibly happen next? That the type of open-ended that's not. I mean, it is a cliffhanger, but it's more of that sort of like. It's like you suddenly see God, and you're like, well, what are you going to do now? Yeah. But they're going to make this into a live-action American film, which, of course, I don't have a problem with them doing a live-action adaptation, and I'll tell you why. I'm getting tired of getting emotionally upset by, hearing about all these remakes and versions of stuff that I love. Who gives a shit,
That's a good attitude.
Try it now and do it over again in 15 years, and we'll
Yeah.
forgive you.
The original's still going to be there. It's still going to be great. It's going to be, in fact, the odds are that them putting out a live-action release means you're going to get a Blu-ray of the original anime coming out.
That's true.
So, be happy. That's great. You might get some cool new action figures or
Action
something.
figures, I was about to say.
Yeah, something neat. Who's the hottest guy? Who is
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
Who is the
That's a
hottest
sixth
guy?
question.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, give us your top 3 to 5.
Because everyone knows mine,
it's-
not guy, girl, Scarlett Johansson, obviously. Despite the Ryan Reynolds thing, he can...
And the
Goes-
record? You can forgive the record?
The record's not that bad.
The
It
record?
really isn't. It's not
Okay.
that bad.
But it was not her. It was all the
It's just, it's so produced on... Yeah, but so... Have
Oh,
you
her record.
listened to pop music?
Yeah, you got a good point there.
That's true.
People keep saying that, but it's like, really, find me a major pop single these days that's not overproduced to hell.
Who's the number 2? Scarlett Johansson.
I don't know. Maybe Kate Beckinsale? I don't know.
Alison Hannigan you were talking about?
Yeah, but only as Evil Willow.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, but we're talking
Oh,
to you.
to me.
Yes, about
okay,
your
number
top.
1, hands down, Christian Bale.
Really?
Okay.
And any
See, you
particular-
always said you don't like those kind of guys.
But he's got interesting teeth.
He does. They're almost like vampire teeth.
Yeah.
Like,
Interesting
which makes him
teeth.
perfect for Batman.
Yes. And he did the whole The Machinist thing,
Yeah.
and that's very sexy. You're devoted to your art, and you dropped 65 pounds. And
Almost Die.
yeah, it was an excellent movie.
Yeah.
And so that kind of gets him some flutter points.
It's one of the great movies that nobody saw.
Oh, so good.
It was good.
Oh, that
I
movie
actually
was
didn't like
great.
it very much.
Really?
I wanted to really bad because I love Christian Bale. He's one of my favorite actors working, but I was like, I really admire him for what he did, and he does a great performance, but I just thought the movie itself was kind of,
Oh, I liked it quite a bit, but I was like, it's pretty extreme for such a small movie.
I was more of an Equilibrium guy myself.
Oh, I loved Equilibrium. But just because you like Equilibrium doesn't mean you can't like his other movies.
Yes, it does.
Oh, shut up.
I hate every other movie. by
Really,
him.
even the Batman.
Forever and ever. That's it. It's only Equilibrium. No, of course I'm not serious.
Okay.
Okay, all right. Christian Bale is number 1.
Ooh.
Who's
Well, we've
number
already
2?
done the,
Robert Downey Jr.
well, now.
Robert Downey, that
Okay.
post-drunk Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, post-rehab.
Yeah, but there's that always that chance if things go badly for him, he'll slip
I
back.
know.
And you'll be there to
Off
help
the
clean him up,
wagon, Yeah.
to hold his hair back when
Like a
he
hobby.
pukes.
And now that is the
Tiny.
hottest quality of a woman there is.
Yeah.
Somebody to hold your long hair out of the way while you
Out of
puke.
your hair, bring you a moist towelette.
Yeah,
Right.
Oh, I love those
After the
moist
puking.
towelettes.
Right.
Some wet ones.
Yeah,
Yes.
that one.
Yeah, when you're giving blowjobs for crack behind a stop and rob, you'll be the one that goes there and talks him back into the car. That's
Yeah,
good.
yeah. Get that. You don't need that $20.
Wait, who's
Look.
giving blowjobs?
Robert Downey Jr.
Oh.
in this scenario.
See,
Or whoever the guy she's with.
it's like my erection is going up and down like
Yeah,
a piston
I don't
here.
need that much of a project. Okay.
Well, that's hot. Oh no, wait, that's not hot.
Okay, all right. So, who else?
Well, as like borderline pedophilic as it may be, the Shia LaBeouf in the indie trailer was looking kind of meow.
Really, with his peach fuzz Wesley Crusher look.
Hey, man.
Tell me about the West. I had 3 posters in my bedroom growing up, and
They didn't make 3 posters of Wesley Crusher. You must have screen capped that shit.
She drew one of them.
She took pictures of her television.
together. Put it on the bedroom wall.
Lock of his hair.
Poor bastard. I don't even know if he had an
down.
action figure.
Yeah.
Come on.
He did.
Did he?
Yeah, I had one.
Okay.
So you're worse than me.
Well, I had action figures of the entire Star Trek
I
crew.
was a Trek fan too, but even I had my limits.
Well, the thing was, dude, they rooked me in because they started out with really cool ships. Like, you were able to get, like, the new Enterprise and the classic Enterprise, and they all had, the exact sounds.
Yeah.
Like that photon torpedo sound.
Yeah.
You know, I couldn't pass that up.
No.
And then from there, it was like, once they came out with the shuttlecraft that you could actually put a guy in, well, I had to buy Scotty to put him in there. And once I got Scotty, you don't want Scotty by himself. You want the whole crew.
You think that turns, it's a gateway drug to Wesley.
It is. I mean, they had me by the teriyakis. I had the whole classic Trek and Next Generation, and I was starting to buy Deep Space Nine, and that's when I went, wait, I don't even like this show.
Yeah,
What the hell am I
totally.
doing?
Yeah. I didn't even know that you were at any point a Trek fan. I had no idea.
Oh, I'm a huge fan of classic Trek.
See, I love classic Trek, but I slowly grew to like Next Generation outside of Wesley. Sorry, Alison.
It's okay.
Better.
It's okay.
That being said, I love Will Wheaton. I think he's one of the greatest geeks alive. I doff my hat to the man. He is a gentleman and a scholar, and I mean that both of those very seriously.
Yes.
I love Will Wheaton. I just was not a big fan of his character.
I
Wesley
give him props
Crusher.
for being the voice of Aqualad on the Teen Titans.
I didn't even know
See?
he did
Oh
that.
my gosh.
See, now I'm just dropping knowledge left and
I have
right.
a new reason to watch that show now. Put the posters back on my bedroom wall.
Except you just draw a little green underwear on him. And
Underwear.
okay.
Okay.
That's the piston going back down.
So Shia LaBeouf and Will Wheaton.
I mean, a couple of years ago, I couldn't have said that and walked out of here a free woman, but
Oh, I don't know. You look in the schools today, that kind of thing seems to be happening left and right.
yeah, he's looking a little too dreamy to be.
Well, Homer Simpson explained it on last Sunday where he said, yeah, it's Shia LaBeouf. He's not quite a nerd. He's not quite a hunk.
You know, say what you will about Keanu Reeves. He's not a great actor by any stretch of the imagination, but he's also not the worst actor in the world either.
He's
And
not the worst.
A large part of it is he's got that whole pretty boy thing going on. He always has. And the way his voice sounds, he's got that weird surfer California voice thing.
I call it wooden,
Yeah.
but if you want to say Surfer California, that's fine.
I mean, I'm not going to make the argument he's a great actor. I'm not. I would never do that. But he's certainly not engaged.
No, I mean, he used to be the poster child for bad actors.
Yeah, it was almost like a running joke that got out of hand.
Yeah. But the thing about Keanu is he stuck in so long that he had to get better.
Yeah.
Just by osmosis, if nothing else.
Oh, they kept casting him with so many great.
Well, I marked him getting better in The Devil's Advocate.
Yeah, well, that was the movie. Yes.
Yes, and it did have Charlize Theron.
Yeah.
Very naked.
Well, just one of my favorite movies. But you also had Al Pacino, who I'm sure at some point took him in the back and just said, "Hooah! Yeah, look, you goddamn piece of wood. I'm not waking up at 4:30 in the goddamn morning just for you to come out here and read these lines like you're reading a cereal box. Now get your shit together."
You know who I am? I'm the devil, goddammit! Why don't you act like you're fucking scared, you piece of shit?
And by the last, quarter of the movie, he has to emote and he does it. You're like, damn,
dude,
never saw him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're totally scary.
Wow, so you like the devil. Can you, score some good pot?
Awesome.
Wild stallions!
We're not doing that here.
What?
No Wild Stallions here. Sorry.
Okay. All right. Yeah, no, not generally speaking in law firms.
Yeah. Awesome. Cut.
Oh, God.
Mr. Reeves, I'm going to have to ask you to please stop saying awesome after every line.
Whoa.
If I could give any advice to anybody out there, you break up with your girlfriend, don't leave her voicemails.
Do not.
Because she will play them for all her friends, and
And
all her
people
friends
on the
will laugh
street.
at how pathetic you
Yes.
are.
Yeah, she might start a website or something.
I mean, I'm saying this to you now so that you don't end up in the same place as Uma Thurman's stalker.
Just don't ever. Okay, if you want to do something stupid and pathetic, just do it when you're drunk, far away from any sort of recording device.
Yes. And don't say to somebody like, well, you haven't returned my messages.
Yeah,
That's
because
bad.
that's just asking for trouble.
You're
If you hear
an idiot.
yourself saying that, you
You're
should go
an
like,
idiot.
oh, wow, yeah, they aren't returning my messages.
You know what
Ever.
she needs. Well, never mind. We'll talk about that later.
Okay.
All right. So let's move on before after a certain point of whiskey, I'm just shameless. I become Corey.
Okay.
Except I don't end up getting laid at the end.
That's true. That's when the restraining orders tend to come out.
That's really the primary difference between me and Corey. Is we both get drunk, we both hit on whoever with a vagina is closest. The only difference is that he actually goes and gets to have sex with them.
Yeah, yours always ends up with sirens and cops.
Yeah, that's the way.
Yeah. That's too bad.
Yeah, but someday I'll write a great book.
Okay.
You had told me, Alison, that you were a big fan of Terry Pratchett, and so am I.
Yes.
The whole
Yes.
Discworld series is
Yes.
just phenomenal.
Yes.
So much. I mean, Leon, have you ever read any of this stuff?
Who does he write with?
Well, he wrote a book with Neil Gaiman.
Just the
Yes.
one?
As far as I know, just the one, Good Omens, which
Yes.
was sort of which described perfectly on the back cover as Monty Python if they wrote The
Totally.
Omen.
Totally.
I think that I like Terry Pratchett's contemporaries,
Okay.
and
yeah,
yet
yeah.
there was only one Terry Pratchett book I started to read and didn't get into it.
What's that?
One with the society on a giant turtle's back or something.
Well, that's the
all
whole
of them.
Discworld. Yeah.
Oh. Oh, well.
It's a gigantic fantasy series that started, there's like 3 books first with the same characters, right?
Yes.
And then it just sort of branches out to follow the stories of all these other minor characters.
So you can pick up anywhere. You don't need to read them in any kind of order.
Yeah, there is no real order, If there's something that happens like 18 books down the line that refers to something earlier, they will explain it.
Yeah, it's nice.
But it's funny. I like Terry Pratchett. I really do. I like what he's done. I've always admired what he's done. In fact, I got into him because of the Discworld video games, the PC games that came out,
wow,
that
yeah.
were like the old point and click games,
Yes.
like Broken Sword and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And they were a lot of fun. I was like, these are funny. They remind me kind of the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy type of
Totally
humor,
wish-
except related to fantasy instead of
Yes.
science fiction.
Right.
I'm still shocked especially with this huge push towards fantasy in Hollywood, that nobody's talking
Yeah.
about doing a Terry Pratchett movie.
Well, he does have Alzheimer's disease.
Yeah, but I don't think that his earlier work goes back and forgets itself.
Yeah, but
No,
maybe they
but-
come and talk to him and say, like, we'd like to make
Yeah.
a movie
Oh.
of this. Yeah, that'd be great. Except it sucked, and I don't want you to do it.
Yeah.
Oh, when are you going to make that movie of my book?
Yeah.
Broccoli!
And they slowly back away.
Yeah.
We'll
wait till he's.
is one of those things that I'm really shocked with. The Lord of the Rings, Narnia, Spiderwick Chronicles, all this fantasy that, as near as I can tell, nobody's talking about optioning it, and it seems like a no-brainer. I would think it'd make a better TV series, personally, than anything
Yes.
else. But because it's one of those ones you can just go on and on and on. There's
Yes.
nobody going, hey, that's not canon, because it's, it's endless.
Well, you know what? These fantasy movies are expensive, and not all of them do well.
Yeah.
Golden Compass kind of died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is
And-
unfortunate, because it had a real beautiful sense of style to it. and-
It's something you watch it, and it really begs for a second movie.
yeah.
Yes.
And it's probably not going to get it.
Oh.
Plus-
Spiderwick Chronicles, very good.
You saw that.
I did, but
Okay.
I saw it at the Dollar Theater because it came and went so
So
fast.
Carlisle was actually right about that.
He was right.
Holy shit.
It was good, but she does tap dancing also.
Tap dancing.
Yes, tap dancing. One semester in college.
Okay, I'm going to admit something very embarrassing right now.
You're tap dancing.
To all of you, I tap danced for 7 years.
Awesome.
I did ballet.
Tap dancing.
I did ballet.
You
for
were
a year.
you were Butters on South Park.
I know. I was.
Wow.
I did jazz for 2 years, ballet for a year, modern for 2 years, tap for 7.
Awesome.
I was Fritz in the Nutcracker
Oh, really?
Awesome.
in front of a packed house for 3 nights in a row. Of course, that was hell. It might as well have been like 100 years ago.
Clogging lessons. I'm signing you up. We're
Clog-
taking clogging.
We're gonna clog together.
Together.
I feel pretty clogged right now.
Okay, now I've blogged about this. I've talked to you about it endlessly. When are you going to read Sharp Teeth?
Oh, the wool,
Sharp
but you haven't given it to me.
Oh, it's hers. I was borrowing it from
okay.
her.
I'm
Buy
sorry.
it.
Okay, I will.
Sharp
It's
teeth.
tell us about it.
So Bookstore Dude was like, read Sharp Teeth. Everybody's talking about it. Okay. And I don't normally like the books that everybody's talking about because...
Sure, that would be uncool.
Yeah. It would be uncool, and then I couldn't go to my cool parties.
Plus, when you read the books everybody talks about, you end up reading...
Dean Koontz.
Yes.
Oh, I was actually going to say... God damn, we were talking about this the other day.
Oh, God.
Oh, see, I've blown the joke by not being able to follow through so quick.
Oh, man. Well, I can edit. You can say it again.
No, wait. Oh, yeah, you're right. Huh. Whenever you read the cool books that everybody's talking about...
It's always that chick.
You end up reading...
Patricia
Cornwell. Like, ugh.
Yeah. Oh, I wouldn't know. What's
that.
the point?
Why do I want to read
or
that?
who's the guy who does all the medical thrillers?
Oh, God. Yes, Michael...
No, it's not Michael Crichton. Michael Crichton's okay for what he does. He's the Stephen King of
Yes,
highly improbable
Let me start over.
Yes.
Okay. When you read the problem is when you read the books that everybody's talking about, and you think you're going to read something good, what you end up reading is the Da Vinci Code.
Yeah.
Over and over again.
It's like, oh, wow, this is the book everybody was talking about?
Yeah, I read that.
Kind of dumb.
I read that when it was called Holy Blood, Holy Grail in, the 70s. Sorry.
Yeah, I thought it was a poor remake of the book he did right before that, Angels and Demons.
Which I actually enjoyed that book.
Sure, I did too.
Angels and Demons is a fun little novel, and then you
you read the Da Vinci Code, it's like, dude, you just ripped off yourself.
Well,
17 times.
This thing, he took he ripped off himself from that, but like I said, it's note for note this, quote, nonfiction book, end quote, called Holy Blood, Holy Grail from the 70s.
Are those the guys that sued him?
Probably. I haven't never followed up
it was
on
a
that,
huge court case.
It's just mark by mark, note by note through the whole book, every single thing that happens in Holy Blood, Holy Grail, just set in a fictional setting as opposed to the like I said, quotes, nonfiction. And we're going to get so many people going, well, you guys sucked. Da Vinci Code was awesome. The movie sucked, but the book was great.
Whatever.
You're going to get a lot of people who are going to say, well, come on, it is one of the most popular books of the last decade. And that doesn't mean it's good. Lots of stuff is really popular that's absolute crap.
That's my point.
Your Honor, I present Britney Spears.
Right. Well, I think the biggest problem with the movie was that it was too accurate. It was too faithful to the book.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, I never actually saw the movie.
Oh.
Tom Hanks' haircut alone terrified me.
Come on, you're not going to be one of those. I actually stumbled into it because I had a high fever and I just wanted like a cool, dark place to go and get well.
But Sharp Teeth by Toby Barlow.
Yes.
Yes. Oh my God, did we get that far away from that?
We did.
That's phenomenal.
Toby Barlow.
I believe.
And it's his first book.
Barlow. Yes.
So there is nothing else by him after that?
Right. It was his first book. He was a guy. What was he?
Freshman effort. He's an advertising agent.
Yeah. He worked in advertising and wrote this book, and it's basically a bunch about different L.A. factions. Some of them, a lot of them are lawyers, but they're also it describes them as werewolves, but they're actually weredogs.
Yeah.
Huh.
And you think, oh, with dogs, it's like no, dogs are actually more scary. Because a wolf you're never going to let in your house.
Yeah.
Dogs are your pets, and they lay under you all the time.
Like Cujo or Pet Cemetery.
Any dog you have could, like, when you're not around, revert back to a human and go out and do other stuff.
In your car.
And yet, they will tear you apart just as easily as a wolf does.
That's true. A dog can fuck your shit up.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, there was a little tiny boxer down the street from me. And it was so cute, little boxer with a little smushed in face. It was, so cute. So I reached down to pet it, and it wasn't doing anything. It was just kind of looking at me. And then it jumped up in the air and it attached itself to my face with its mouth.
Yeah.
And I was like shaking my head around. There's this little like foot-long boxer going, to this day, anything with a smushed in face, just forget about it.
Scary.
Well, I'm sure his face got smushed in because he did that to somebody else.
Yeah, well, it was a boxer. I think it's genetic.
But I keep raving about this book because Alison was reading it. It's got a great looking cover.
It's beautiful.
And she talked it up and it's like, yeah, I'll let you borrow it. And I'm like, okay. And a lot of times people let me borrow books. They turn out to be dogs.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
Yeah, no pun intended, I was going to say.
But by page 6, I was so into this book.
Yes.
Yeah.
And just loving every bit of it.
Well,
and just philosophies of life. And man, what an ending. Like, to when it was done, I had like a tear in my eye and I just clapped.
I'm going to have to check that out.
Yeah. You'll read it quickly
Yes.
and you'll love it the whole time.
Okay, all right.
It's
Fair
a
enough.
quick read. It's really beautiful and lyrical and, it flows.
Yeah, no, when
It's like a beautiful piece of pop music where at first you're like, oh, this is poppy. And you're like, wow, this is really well written.
It's like Radiohead.
Good.
Okay.
Radiohead's a good example. It starts off like, it's more pop music, whatever, and then you're like, oh, that was kind of cool, and then you go back and listen to it again and go, oh, maybe there's a little more depth here than I actually thought there was.
Exactly.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, I will definitely check that out. So, once again, Sharp Teeth by
Toby Barlow.
Toby Barlow. Okay, cool. So what do we got next? That's all I have on my list other than modding stuff.
Modding stuff?
Yeah, well, Alison told me that she likes to take toasters and turn them into timers or something. Tea timers, which I don't actually know what that is because I don't drink tea and I hate time. No, I have no problem with time. But I'm not really sure what you need the time tea for. Didn't the pot whistle or something?
No. If you brew tea, there are certain lengths of time that you have to keep in mind. Like if you overbrew a green tea, it'll get bitter. I like tea also. And if you overbrew your green tea, it'll kind of taste bitter. Or you overbrew this kind of tea, it'll taste kind of manky.
Oh.
So you take a regular old toaster oven you'd get from the Salvation Army, and you pop the top, and you turn it into a tea timer. And there's a great magazine by O'Reilly Media called Make that tells you how to make stuff like that. Make sweaters, make casseroles, make a cart for your dog to haul.
Make a car for your dog to haul? Oh.
Carts.
I feel like this just turned into an NPR show.
No, because then we'd be all talking like
Oh, that's true. Well, more of a PBS.
Yes, so tell us about this. And we're going to be talking about this over the music of Alsatian throat singers. What they actually do is they hold on to their testicles and they pull them down.
And sing in 3 octaves at once.
Yes, it's fascinating.
You can download our podcast.
It's fascinating. I'm going to sleep myself. Can you imagine us doing this like that about geek stuff, though? So what's really interesting is the way that Crank chooses to have sex in public. I think when Amy Smart's boobs are kind of shaking back and forth.
Chinese tourists, they're taking pictures. They'll take those back to China, have them developed.
They will. That'll be nice.
That'll be nice.
Yeah.
That'll be very nice.
All right. Do you have anything else you want to talk about?
I think I'm kind of spent for right now.
Are you spent, Alison?
I'm drunk.
Well, there's the mating call of any girl that Cyrus has ever had a chance to spend more than 5 minutes talking to. Not that he's actually ever closed the deal, mind you.
5 minutes.
Yeah, I always find a way to fuck it up, usually with something like, so, you like Brian Michael Bendis? And even though Brian Michael Bendis has written Spider-Man, that does not count as a Spider-Man.
It does not count as that.
It does not count.
I have nothing to say about Spider-Man.
Okay, seriously, what is up with Norman Osborn's hair and the Osborn's hair? No, I'm sorry. We'll talk about that next
clearly
week.
They're part Puerto Rican.
Are those cornrows? What are they? Do they dye them red in lines? I'm just wondering. Anyway, that appears to be a good going out point for us.
Yes.
Thank you so much, folks, for tuning in to LEOG, and we will see you in 2 weeks.
Would love to thank the lovely Alison for showing up. And,
yes, thank you so much.
It was very much fun.
I don't know if we'll get a cartoon of Alison up, but I would say to imagine Alison as Veronica from Archie Comics.
Hey, that's good. Yeah.
Yeah, isn't that perfect?
Yeah, no, actually, that really nails it. It's like cross between Veronica and maybe a young Janine Garofalo.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
That's a little sweet, because smart and attractive.
Well, just a tiny bit of Jennifer Garner thrown in.
Yeah, okay. Especially like now she's all talking about like I'm working out, I'm I'm gonna be kick ass.
I do yoga 48 hours a day and take 4 seconds.
You never see a yoga martial arts film.
Everybody just pieces out, sits on the floor, battles with their cheese.
That would be the NPR action film. So yeah, that really kicked, buttocks.
I sat in lotus position for 4 weeks.
If there was to be a yoga martial arts film, it would be Owen Wilson and starring in it.
Yes, it would be. But let's not give them any ideas.
No, let's cut this off right now.
Anyway, thanks, folks. We'll see you in 2 weeks.